All right, this is part four. Today we're gonna talk about the Bamasu. I like calling it the Bamasu, but it's really called the Basamu. You know what I'm saying? Basamu. The Basamu is a horned serpent and is a dragon serpent of Tiamat, based from the horned snake, the crescents. This gigantic form is nearly identical to the Usam Galu, except for the Basamu is associated with the goddess. The serpent was a symbol of the goddess Ishkara, who was similar to Ishtar in Inanna, being associated with war and love, with a center of divination with expectancy, divination with the internal organs of animals, and a wife of Dagon. Later, Ishkara became associated with the scorpion during the Kesite period. The Basamu is associated with the constellation Hydra and is depicted as a winged dragon serpent with two fronts, arms, and paws of a lion. In this sense, the name of Musatur, birth goddess snake, is ideal to renewal and meditation. Using a meditation process, visualizing your astral body changing and shaping and expanding into great horned serpent. Your hands elongated and the talons of a eagle grow sharp horns grow from your skull. Your fangs length, your sense will change. Your senses will change. Your healing will shift to recognizing the vibrations and sound that your eyes will sense heat and you will move and slither faster than you could run. So that's on the Basamu. And we knew on the symbolism of the lion because Ishtar is also connected to the lion. And Basamu, from my own personal experience of working with this energy, I'm going to give you the sigil. The Basamu. Here's the sigil of it right here. And that's the queuing form. The queuing form is also the sigil. You could draw the snake or do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a horned serpent. I'm letting y'all get a look at it again. But this serpent right here, when I work with it, it enhanced my creativity. Drawing, writing with both hands, like I said, is great with working with art, is great with raising up your consciousness. The Hydra is also dealing with the could have a connection to a Polaris, connecting back to the Scarlet Woman. But the you got, and the seven seals, the seven chakras, and stuff like that. So basically, it had the same effect as me using the Venus seal when I work with this particular energy, you know. And I also forgot to mention with the Basamu that another way of working with that energy is like if you got copper like this, take it from under my neck for a minute. Copper is a great energy to work with the heart chakra. Its energy, its electromagnetic field shapes like a six-pointed star. That's why the heart chakra is green. They have that at the heart. But this is copper right here. You have a spiral. Spiral represents a serpent. You know what I'm saying? So if you could make it in this form, you could definitely connect with that energy. And I'll recommend writing the sigil on copper, but do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to speak on too much because, like I said, I don't want to push my subjective reality onto other people or my first-hand experience onto other people. So I can only tell you what I used. You know what I'm saying? But that's a great spirit to work with if you want to raise your consciousness. If you're working with love spells, I don't do love spells, but anything that's connected to Venus, you can work with that. Creativity and stuff like that, you know. So that's on the Basamu. Like I said, I just enhance my creativity and I have a hunger for learning. Like I have a stronger urge to learn than I normally do on other days. And I always do have an urge to learn, but this intensifies a lot more. I also forgot to mention, oh yeah, and draw the Basamu on copper. Like I said, work with it on copper. And it's connected to Venus. Creativity, dealing with self-love. The stones I recommend are like I say, what you call this, feldspar. I recommend feldspar, any type of orange or pink feldspar, rose quartz, and copper. you know so another one I forgot to mention was the mushroom dragon. And with the mushroom dragon, you can visualize yellow, blue, or red and meditate with the caduceus, and that will actually allow you to tap into your ancient DNA, basically the Akashic records, and you start to see visions of people or whatever the fuck you see. You know what I'm saying? That's just my own first hand experience. I forgot. I cannot push it on people, but try that technique and see how it works for you. You know what I'm saying? Just visualize the caduceus at your spine and it's wrapping around your spine. And it's going up each part of your spine and it's hitting your pineal area. You know what I'm saying? And then visualize yourself turning into the dragon. I use red, blue, and yellow with the mushroom dragon. You know what I'm saying? With the mushroom, when I use red, my body starts heating up and I start meditating and stuff, which is the Kundalini. The yellow one, like I said, I did the Caduceus thing and that worked well with the yellow one. And it's great for strengthening the solar plexus because the mushroom is also the gateway before Ishtar. And the reason why is because Mercury's before, or Samael is before Arab Zarak. You know what I'm saying? Or Venus, known as Venus. So you can look at that on the clip off the Tree of Death and the Kabbalah. You know. And I recommend green lights too because green is the doorway into the spirit realm. This will allow you to, some of y'all to see spirits, maybe royal blue resonate with you, or orange or red. Find out what color bulb, but I recommend each color bulb. It really works for consciousness. It's something about the green bulb. It heightens my consciousness. I don't like to depend on it too much. I'll rather still get the natural light, the sun, and the dark, and also work with this as well. So that's on the Bamasu. The Bamasu, if you want to know the correspondence of the Bamasu, that would be Ishtar, Lucifer. Another one would be Inanna. Um, you could say Prometheus to a certain degree, and I would say Venus, and Kuan Yin, and Shipatotep, the Aztec god of sacrifices. They say Zipatotep, but the X has a sh sound. But that's another time. But that's pretty much it on that. And I'm gonna go back and see because I had some more information on the mushroom dragon, but I didn't put that on there. Oh, I got some more on the Bamasu too. So let's just read some more on the Basamu. The first dragon serpent of Tiamat of creation, the Basamu, is a horned serpent which is a representation of a horned Mesopotamian serpent known as a Cressus or a Crescestus. A Sumerian synonym of the Bamasu is Mush-sa-tur and translates to snake womb or womb snake, and the birth goddess snake. The Basamu is a venom snake which is from the Sumerian word usum and Musatur. And in Akadana, the Basamu is identified anthropomorphically as being a great horned serpent with four legs. It seems reasonable that after the fall of the chaos gods of Tiamat, that the Basmu is related to the underworld god Nigizard, possibly being manifesting as the two horned serpents around the staff, or from the shoulders of Nigizadar. The species crescent is the horned serpent, which is found throughout the Middle East. The horned serpent is poisonous and a strictly beautiful species with two sharp horns rising perfectly from the head. The Basamu is described as a sea dragon snake in the myth Ker 6, and in Angem 33. The Basamu and the Yusum lived in the fortress of mountains. We can assist that there is probably several types of Basamu created by Tiamat. If we can consider each definition from myth. The goddess Ishkara, the symbol who is identical with Ishtar and Inanna, was the Basamu snake, in which she is a balanced goddess of both war and love. As a fertility goddess, Ishkara was later known as a form of the scorpion and the constellation known as Scorpius. The depiction of Tiamat, who appears with the same traits as the Usumgalu. The Bamasu is closely associated with the underworld gods after the War of Chaos, specifically with the earth goddess Nahima. Very interesting. Who bears the divinity epic of a womb snake. The goddess Nurta was the bottom half of a snake and the upper parts of a woman. Much the later descriptions of Echidna, the serpent demoness and the wife of Typhon of ancient Greece and Asia Minor, the name of Nurta or Nahima are names for the goddess Nourishsagal, who is associated with the constellation Hydra, known as Momus. Hydra is signifying the constellation as many underworld deific masks and attributed to it, including Nigizadar and even Erishkigal. The Basamu was associated with Nigizadar, as well noted the two Corecitus, the Corecitus or the horned snakes on his shoulders, while the Basamu of Tiamat was described as horned yet gigantic with the legs and claws of a lion. It knows debate had some shape shifting ability, possibly even reproduction, considering the many followings. Shoulders and the caduceus represent the poison and beneficial nature of Nigizadar. He guards the gate of the highest heaven and embodies of Anu, and equally dwelling in the underworld and is associated with the constellation known as Hydra. It is important to the consider that the gods also taken theoretic forms in reference to the constellation or specific actions they resign over understanding such symbolism. And any god or demon you may work with will have specific aspects which may manifest in dreams or in the living world, perhaps as a dream or an interaction with a specific animal or reptile. Very interesting. That's very interesting. That was connected to Nahima. I did not know that, but I did forget about the war part. Yes, it's great for war and removing obstacles. on your journey of consciousness to, if you want to remove distractions and things that's holding you back, this is a great energy to work with. Um, another thing is there's something called the onna in Japanese mythology, which is really connected to this Basmu. Um, so I'll look forward to see if I can read that to you if I find the damn book right now. You know what I'm saying? Because nure onna means wet woman. That's what the word nure onna means. But damn, man, I'm trying to figure out where this thing is. You know, I'm so unorganized when I make these videos a lot of times because it's not about me, it's about the knowledge. But we ain't gotta even speak on that. But is what it is. Where's the I think I already showed y'all the Basmu sigil. But I might have to do a one on the nure onna if I'm not able to get to it at this point. I thought I would be able to find this in the book. There we go. Nure onna. Okay. And I'm gonna give y'all the sigil of that too. This is the sigil in those Japanese letters. This is the sigil. I don't know how good y'all can see it, but damn. Nure onna. Okay? And this is what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. About to get back on it. The appearance of the nure onna are vampiric sea serpent who hunts the shores and rivers looking for humans to eat. They are mostly commonly found on the shores of the islands of Kaisushu, but there are stories of the nure onna encounters as far north as Nagita prefectures and as far east as Fukushima prefectures. There are two variants of this yokai, one with arms which resembles an enormous sea serpent with a woman head, and one with human-like arms. Aside from this difference, the two look and act in exactly the same manner. Their faces are hideous and betray serpent-like features such as a forked tongue. And a forked tongue represents the Meduba Abagada. You know what I'm saying? And the Native American lore, a forked tongue is a liar. They have long black hair which sticks to their dripping bodies. Their name comes from fact that they always appear soaking wet. Interactions, while physically much stronger than a human, the nure onna prefers not to rely on brutal force but use trickery, fork's tongue, and guide a guild to catch their prey. They mostly often appear near the waters on the coast of by a river bank. The nure onna magically distinguish themselves as a distressed woman carrying a bundling up a baby. They cry out for help from fishers, sailors, or anybody passing by. When the prey approaches, a nure onna will plead with their victims to hold their baby for just a moment so that she can rest. If they agree and take this bundle, the baby becomes as heavy as a boulder. The victim is unable to move. The nure onna is then free to attack their helpless victim, feeding by draining his blood with her long serpentine tongue. onna frequently appears together in cooperative onna as they inhabited the same environment and they share the same diet. Translation: wet women. So we know this is talking about the vagina and the womb, just like the Basmu is associated with water, just like the onna, and they both associated with the vagina. And I would say they both are Venus because if you look at the sirens and the mermaids, if you go to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, you see a lot of mermaids carved in copper, and if you look at Aphrodite, she's standing on a seashell coming out of the water. So this is coming from the concept of where the mermaid could walk on land as well. Um, the water is also connecting to copper because copper turns water alkaline, and the paralyzation of the person, which is the stone. You know what I'm saying? Just like Medusa turning the stone, that's talking about sex. This is what this is talking about. It's talking about the sexual attribute, but these are two similar energies, just from a different mythology. But if you're into the yokai, I'll recommend it. This is the stuff that the ninja or the shinobi were using. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that, man. There was another thing I had to say. Wet women, when it's talking about the wet woman sucking your blood, sperm has 5 drops of blood inside the sperm. So basically, that's what that's talking about. It's exorbitant into the womb, and you have the baby. But there's a lot more to this too, and the onna is also connected to the naga. If you go back to the Indus Kush, because naga is associated with water and stuff, and wealth and fertility and dealing with kundalini energy. But yeah, that's what I have to say on that. Oh, appearance. Onna Yami Joe. Okay, we don't know Japanese. Okay, so that's not a good one. Inhabitants. Coast, rivers, and other bodies of water. Okay, diet, blood. So this is a vampiric energy. I also forgot to mention with the onna, I have that on my unreal altar, and I use that with my dream workings as well. You can use sexual energy, like you have sex with somebody, then you hold back before you bust and you lay down. You, you just have to experience. You see what I'm talking about. The visions will come to you. But until then, y'all be safe. Y'all be strong, man. Move that.